Wharf.
Oh, and we're live. My gosh, I could not see the camera. Hello, everyone. Uh, literally pulling up my chair. Hello, everybody. Welcome to It's a Long Story, a place where we roll dice, we tell stories, and we create magic. Also, we talk about Arkansas a lot. Actually, a correct amount, probably. Anyways, for those that are here, which is the new moon, everybody take a look at your camera, wave, and say hi.
Hi.
Howdy.
Hello.
Howdy.
For those that don't, for those that don't know who or what or where or when this is, hi. We are a D&D live stream that runs every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday, having 4 campaigns living, existing, riding on a cart, just hanging out on a cart, in the same world, the wonderful, beautiful homebrew world of Imea. So if you're here for the first time, welcome. Hope you enjoy yourself. Before we begin, just a couple of the usual announcements. We have our... oh my gosh, this is all messed up. We have our drop-in, drop-out campaign this Saturday for those who are interested in playing. That is for our Humblewood. Silk and Sunder is the name of the campaign. For those that don't know, drop-in, drop-out campaign just means you play you can play a single session, you can play multiple sessions. You can take a break, come in, come back out. But we are running these most Saturdays for the summer. There will be a couple that we're missing here and there. I know I am out the last Sunday in June, and actually I think probably the Sunday after that. And maybe even the Sunday after that, actually. I should probably check that out. But anyways, for those that are, those that are still listening about it, it is a really cool campaign, super fun for anyone and everyone who would like to show up and play D&D as their favorite woodland creature of the land or sky. It's a very zany, somewhat cartoonish campaign, so a little lighter than some of the stuff that we have going on here with most of the other campaigns right now. But yeah, definitely worth checking out. You can do that. You can check that out going to startplaying.games/GM/It's a Long Story. For those that are watching in the video, for those that are watching on YouTube, it is in the video description below. For those that are watching on Twitch, I'll be putting it in the live chat right about now. Here it comes. Cool. So yeah, if you have any questions, my Saturday book, I'd bring some sort of kestrel. Yeah. All right. Cool. Yeah. That would definitely work. Well, take a break from whatever you're doing on Saturday, unless it's really important. Unless it's like you're like launching a ship into outer space or something. That's you probably can't cancel on that. But we'd love to have you. Oh, really? DMing Fallout TTRPGs, parenting and geekdom. We need to talk. I am very interested in that. Please get at me outside of this thing right now. But yeah, it is a super fun campaign. Please check it out and feel free to ask any questions using that same link. Again, startplaying.games/GM/It's a Long Story. Yes, and lastly, in the idea of getting more involved, if you are interested, for those who are interested in getting closer and more comfortable with us in this channel, you can do so by doing a couple things. First and foremost, like and subscribing and following, not only on YouTube or Twitch, wherever you're watching, but also checking out our Instagram and TikTok, which the lovely Kay over here has been hard at work making us all look amazing on there. So please feel free to check it out. There's a lot of really funny clips and a lot of really cool stuff coming down the pipeline as well. So, Kay, as always, thank you. And yeah, please check it out. And then like and subscribe. Be our friend. We're very friendly. Just do it if you want. And yeah, I think that is it for announcements. Who's doing the recap?
I've got it.
Cool. Awesome. All right. So before we jump off, we need to get an idea of where we left off, where we're leaping from. So to find that out, Brandon, would you please take it over?
All right. So the party, ready to leave the spire, the sea glass spire, attempts to discuss their situation about missing with Daphne, but can't find her anywhere. Running out of time to leave the city under the cover of the massive craziness, words I can't remember, they decide to leave her and call her later. Back at the compass, Jet helps Alyssa pack before checking in with the rest of the party using the Rocky Talkies. They are trying to find a cart to take out of the city, but fail to find one that hasn't been broken or isn't usable. Or is unusable. When they return, Ida decides to lend the party a cart, with Ianthe offering the Misty Maiden the party's ship as a short-term exchange loan. Packed and ready, Sif is nowhere to be found, and with a goodbye between Grian and Ida, the choice is made to leave their half-storm giant barbarian friend behind. After convincing a newbie guard to let them pass, the party takes turns connecting, sleeping, and driving the cart. In the wee hours of the morning, Ianthe and Adim are discussing their father and receive a message from him, pointing them toward the peninsula of Zajar. The cart suddenly stops and awakens the rest of the party, including Alyssa, who quickly falls under the trance of an unseen enemy. With a compassionate plea from Adim, Alyssa snaps out of it and cries before going back to sleep. As the sun rises over the land and the party, a body of green shifts and watches from a distance. And that is my quick recap.
Awesome. Thank you. Oh, sorry about that. Probably drove you guys crazy for a second. My bad. Yes, cool. Thank you, Brandon. Appreciate it. Anything we missed, gang?
The only thing I can think of is that neither Adim nor Ianthe know the area is called Zajar. We just know the area. You told us it was Zajar, so. But
And
we're just
Prisha
like up
was
there, over there. I think it was more of a D down mark for us than anything else.
And Prisha was here the whole time.
You were just chilling in the bubble.
Yeah,
I
just
just
hanging
wanna
out in
share-
the back of the bubble, having a good time. It's fine, guys.
I just want to point out that Joe is doing stuff in his chair on that side of the screen, which means we're in for it, gang.
Oh yeah.
I'm excited.
I don't know.
I'm ready.
You don't know.
Conflict.
I could be putting my my crocheting tools away. I'm definitely not doing that because I think you guys know because I'm referring to them as crocheting tools, which is probably not the right.
Are you crocheting during every session as well? Are you like DMing and crocheting at the same time? 'Cause
Not
that's
not
impressive.
during, just beforehand, and I was just in a really
And then
big
immediately
like.
after.
I was in it. I was in a very like. I was just. You know how when you're crocheting and time just gets away from you.
Absolutely.
I just have this mental image of you going like, "Oh, Matt's talking. I got some time. Let me get some loops in."
every time you see me looking down, you think I'm looking at a keyboard or anything else, but it is really just at my
just counting stitches.
Counting, yes.
Imagining Joe
Counting
with those
stitches.
Glasses. It's imagining Joe with the glasses that look down, so he can just do this.
I only have one drumstick because I recently broke my other one, but
Bummer.
that's me.
So that's knitting, and it's
You laugh,
upside
but
down.
sometimes
I'm
I do
sorry.
crochet during D&D because it helps me listen. But I don't know.
And
where
Yeah.
I have two actually. I crochet.
I look, I am not knocking crocheting. I am knocking the idea that is what I was doing, which is not at all. It was eating. It was eating dinner with my wife. Okay, if you need to know. No. That's right. Sometimes you just gotta keep your hands busy. Cool. I truly don't know. I'm not entirely sure. We'll see what happens. We'll see what the dice say.
Mine said 1.
But yeah, speaking about seeing what the dice say, I would like you all to be rolling a perception check as the morning arrives.
Okay.
All right.
I was like, why is my perception
8.
so high? And I was like, oh, that's right.
Yay, 8. Adim's on it.
Good.
Ooh.
What happened to me?
I rolled a nat 20.
Did you really?
I really
That's-
I got
Super weird.
15.
12.
4.
26.
Sorry, I lied. 13, not 12. I have
Okay.
a +1.
Tishin, can you tell me what your total is here on that then?
My total is 28.
Jesus.
Okay.
Holy shit.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Missing somebody, and that is Ianthe.
4.
4.
Oh, sorry. You said perception check?
Yeah.
29.
29.
Mhm.
Guys
I
making me
got
type a
rogue.
lot.
I got a slice of rogue in me.
Okay, cool, awesome. So as the morning comes in, as you are all kind of continuing on in your carriage ride, going up from a sort of a quasi grassy, quasi rocky. You're kind of like in this sort of like middle sort of area of the terrain that like pretty far. I'd say maybe like no more than like 50 feet to your left is the beginnings of like the mountain ranges of the mountains that kind of move along the west coast of North Imea. And about, I'd say no more than 100, 120 feet to your right are the deep woods. So you guys are kind of like smack dab right in the middle. So as the wagon is moving along, it is hitting many bumps, rocks, things like that along the road. So it is quite a rocky awakening for our heroes, those that have been sleeping so far. So as you guys wake up, say if it matters. Okay, cool. Both Ewolf and Alyssa are at least not are sleeping when you guys wake up. Not in a like trance-like state or anything, but they seem to be just kind of like slower than the rest of you upon waking. So as you do so, if anybody that does, I'm not even going to put like an initiative thing to it. Just say, what's your guys? What are you guys doing in the morning based on information that you may or may not know from last night?
I'll start off. I guess Tishian's just sort of looking around the grounds after the events of yesterday. I think he's a little on edge for patrolling and sort of finding him in protective mode.
Jet made a pseudo dragon familiar the last session. So he would be sending out Spectre, his little pseudo dragon, to fly around in about every 10 or so minutes, swap vision in and out of it so that he can like kind of see what's going on, because Codex told him to keep an eye out.
Your microphone cut out when you said the name. What is the name?
Spectre.
Spectre.
Ooh.
I like it. Cool. Yeah. Please continue. What are the rest of you guys doing?
Adim is nervous after Alyssa's episode last night, so he's just keeping his eyes out for anything he can hit.
Okay. I'll say like another thing too, like so to help me kind of get an idea of like vantage wise, paint a word picture in my mind of where you guys are at. So I imagine Titian is out riding on
Barb.
not Beth,
He's out riding.
Barb.
He's out riding
Barb.
on Barb, so he's actually got a pretty good vantage point. So if we imagine Barb is, what's the size of like a large creature, like 15 foot tall, something like that.
That's a crazy big bird, dude.
I don't remember. I don't know the sizes. Let me know, Joe. I don't know.
I think
10 foot tall.
think six.
It doesn't really necessarily like matter as far as the like a like quote large creature doesn't define the tallness of it. I would say because a war horse is just naturally, well, actually a horse in general is naturally claimed as a large creature. I would say probably about the size of a horse.
I'm just trying
That's
to.
what I was going to say.
The reason I'm sort of saying is just because it has to make sense that Titian can ride them, so they have to be big enough for Titian to ride. So,
Right.
But Titian's just on their back, looking around, doing circles around. I think just sort of patrolling the perimeter.
So that's a fun thing. I think I could say like I don't think they're 15 feet because that would just be.
No.
I just feel like there's gonna be
Too
like
big.
a ton of problems in that. In the natural persuasion and charm that Titian could bring to a conversation while there is a 15-foot bird behind him. One thing that I do think would be really funny is for you to help maybe define on why Barb, a flightless bird,
Justice for Barb.
is able to carry a large leonine. Like what I'm asking is what those legs look like.
Oh, they're beefy.
What the
They're like
legs?
super. They're super stout.
They
I
gotta
mean,
be beefy, right?
Cassowaries are just literally modern day velociraptors. Let's just call it what it is. So this is like their legs are tree trunks, and when I say tree trunks, I mean the great red oaks from California.
6-inch claws or talons.
Big
Mhm.
boys. You get all that? The fanfic people? Did you get it? Okay.
Hey! More importantly, wizards,
Me.
are you listening? Are you listening, wizards? Cowards.
Are you listening, wizards? Fix your birds, wizards.
I have a question unrelated to the cassowary.
Then I don't want to hear it. I'm just gonna no, go ahead.
Okay, great. How far outside of the carriage can we be? Or out? So when Titian is outside, he's not protected by the bubble, correct?
Absolutely not. Yeah, the bubble's only what, 15 feet maybe?
It
It's
is
like
a
the size of the
10-foot
carriage itself.
circle, so it kind of like overhangs. So it's kind of like, yeah.
But
10-foot
the,
circumference or radius?
Circumference, I believe it's 10-foot sphere.
Okay, cool. Yeah. So yeah, very small. Doesn't even take up the whole wagon, I would say.
So the bubble's really just for Alyssa, correct?
The bubble is to keep foreign threats out.
Okay. Prisha, I think, is going to. I think she's going to be in the carriage. I was thinking that maybe she would be in wolfy form, but I don't want to waste a wild shape.
Okay. That's fair.
Yeah. I think she's just watching Alyssa, possibly a little uncomfortably. Like, just staring at this kid.
Just like right here, just cool. Great.
The Deem is probably either on the front of the carriage so he could see, or if there isn't room because somebody else is up there, he's standing on the back lip of the carriage, just trying to keep an eye on things.
I would say if you'd like to be driving the carriage, you certainly can.
A Deem would rather not be driving because he wants his hands free.
Okay, so you want to be riding shotgun.
Yeah, and if there isn't room for shotgun in the back, just somewhere we can stand on the carriage so he's not running alongside of it, but where he can see what's going on.
Okay. Is anybody riding shotgun? You got it.
Yeah, I'm running shotgun. Okay.
Who is driving right now? Would it be Ianthe, or do you think that it's someone else?
I could drive. You taught me how.
Yeah.
And I will say I at some point before we start moving again, Ianthe would have ducked into the wagon, whether Prisha was in there or not, and changed into some new armor that Tishian gave her.
Okay. To be clear, as far as I know, you guys have not stopped moving.
Oh, we haven't?
I don't think so.
Oh, I thought we camped out.
We stopped for that jolt that kind of woke everybody up, but that was about it.
Okay, we'll say this then. While everybody's... Then I will change into the armor later. And I will move it from my inventory.
Fair enough. I'll say, like, if you guys wanted to take a moment to sort of like maybe like gather supplies, things like that. Like, obviously, I think you could even just like suggest that, like, hey, do we want to give the horses a break, like that sort of thing.
Yeah, we're tired. Everyone's tired. Maybe we should camp out.
It would be the morning. So just a reference that last session we left off with the sun kind of coming up. So
I don't know. Should we take a bit of a break? I mean, we're all exhausted. We've been up all night.
Personally, I think we should keep going. Just get as far away as possible.
Okay.
I mean, if anybody else has something else to say, but...
I mean, every so often we'll have to stop and feed and water the horses and everything, but I assume, like, I've got Spectre flying around probably, I don't know, maybe 20 feet above, just kind of looking out around and alerting me to movement, because I doubt his perception's any better than mine. Probably not. Mine's terrible, so...
there is a stat block for it, so you can check that if you want. But
will do.
I mean, I guess it's a good point. It's probably been like 8 hours at this point, 9 hours. So we should probably let the horses rest for a little bit. You're right.
You got it. So I think stopping for a point of just taking a little breakfast pit stop, we'll say. For the record, I just want to make sure mechanically we're all clear on things here. You guys did get a long rest last night. Everybody did. I think Tishy was the only one that was possibly not, and flew right under the radar on that. So
no, we said that Tishian got in the cart as we did some stuff.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So yeah, you're good there. Cool. So here's an interesting question: where do you guys pull off?
As I'm traveling around, is there like a body of water or anything that we know that is noticeable? Like a stream or...
It's been a minute since I've had to check the map on where you guys are. So let me do that.
Or just a clearing or something. I mean, we have people who could create water, right?
Yep.
So the reason, I'll just be clear, the reason why I'm asking, there's absolutely a clearing for that. But the reason why I'm asking is because, Tishan, you know, last night something happened.
Yeah.
And I think you don't know for sure, I don't believe. You might even know for sure, I'm trying to recall. But you get the feeling that the thing that you saw on the first day that you met Adim and Ianthe, you feel is involved here, and you do know that thing came from the woods.
Yeah. I'm not looking for... I don't want to... As I'm sort of picturing it, Tishian's around, and he's also helping navigate. So if we're looking for a clearing to stop, Tishian, I think, would be on point to try to find that and make sure it's safe. Intentionally not trying to take us deeper into the woods. But my hope is that there's like a stream running alongside the road that we're on. I'm assuming we're on a road. Or
there's no. I want to make sure that I'm clarifying on this. There is never a road in North Imea.
Okay. So,
remember, there is never a road.
Never a road. So then,
in cities, yes, but not in the connection.
Would you say it's more like a traveled dirt path kind of deal? Like people know where to go?
A very lightly traveled dirt path. Like people know based on the direction that they know before they're heading out, typically. Sure. For you guys, you know because Adim has literally traveled this before. But there is no, and I'm also clarifying this for sure because depending on what happens, if there's a point where we have to go to a physical map, you will see a road. That road does not exist in real life. I cannot iterate that enough.
But I mean, like,
it
with
is
towns like
wildlands.
Sure, but there has to be something, like, to Brendan's point, like, where, because Dair's Wharf, Ha Samal, these are communities that are interacting with one another. So, like, at least the brush maybe is knocked down. Just looking for a clearing for us to, like, park the cars then. And, like, something that's safe with... That's something that's, like, no one could sneak up on us there.
Right.
If that makes sense.
So, I'm trying to think of the best way to kind of, like, sort of, like, mark it out and, like, sort of picture it. First, I'm going to turn you down a little bit. I would say, man... Okay. This might not translate to anybody, but I would say, like, in the idea of thinking about any, like, sort of, like, Knights of the Round Table, like King Arthur sort of, like, level of things, sometimes there are roads, but sometimes there are just weird growths that have come up in the roads there, and even then, those roads are not clear, they're not straight, straight and narrow. So there are growths, there are things that, like, the cart is leaning to the left in certain ways, the cart is having to get around certain things. So it is a path would probably be a better way to say that. Yeah.
Would you say like a
so
hiking
you're
trail? Where it's like...
Yeah, I
It's
see,
not
like
a-
I mean, you're
more
also you're in a wagon, so there's like, yeah, I think you're like
It's like
there's
cleared
just
by
not
travel,
enough,
not by anything else.
but there's not a lot of travel going back and forth. You get what I'm saying?
I think we're getting caught up on semantics.
No, I
Like,
know,
roads
but I
roads
want to make
versus
sure that I'm
paths
clear on
versus
this
trails.
because
Yeah.
I don't want to hurt the immersion here on this. I want to make sure you guys know exactly kind of what you're dealing with. You are basically in this weird sort of space between woods and rocky terrain. It's not a very clear, like, road that you're on. But yeah, we'll move on from that for sure. Okay, cool. Yeah, Tishin, I think. And the reason why I was bringing up the thing of, like, last night was the idea of, like, okay, so if they're going to stop, obviously, like, getting water, things like that, even having, like, a sort of clearing thing would be ideal. That is to the right. To the right is the woods. To the left is the rocky terrain. Now, I'm going to just make sure here, because I don't know why I pulled it out. Yeah, you're nowhere near any, like, even, like, possible, like, I mean, there could be some, like, runoffs and things like that to the left-hand side. And I'll say, like, with that nat 20, I'll say that you do notice there is a, like, small bit of, like, runoff that is not ideal for, like, it's not like a nice soft patch of grass, but there is like, there is an area of rest that has this, like, that is clear, just mountain runoff that has come up to a, like, almost more like a vernal pool sort of thing.
Yeah,
But if it's for the horses,
I mean, my spectral steed. I mean, let's pull off right there. I would probably suggest to the party, like, let's, like, not get too far off from the path we're on, because the just ground in general seems unstable in this area, and especially seeing the runoff. Like, we just want to make sure that we're on solid grounding. So, Tishian would suggest that to a demon Ianthe. Like, we could just stop anywhere. Let's just not go closer to the woods. Let's make sure we keep, like, a solid ground under us.
Okay.
Agreed
So you're
on
trying to
start
stay
with
to the
woods
left.
possible.
Hold on one second. I need to make sure we're clarifying. So you're going off to the left, where the plan is, in your case, is to go off to the left towards the mountain range and further away from the woods.
That would be, I think, what Tishian would say. If he's getting a bad feeling about the woods, yeah.
Deem agrees.
Cool.
He has bad memories from the woods from before, so he's like, "Yep, I'm good with that. Sure."
Yeah.
Which one is gonna? which one is closer to Massetti, the woods or the mountain?
Woods for sure.
Woods.
So if
Shut
you and
out
you
of
guys
these
have
series.
access to this map, by the way. That is it's in current map in Discord, so you guys can kind of take a look. Going from Dair's Wharf to Ha Samal, that's pretty accurate. So Massetti is closer to the woods.
Violently disagrees with going to the mountain path then.
Okay.
Violently.
Well, and the mountain path is the one that's more directly towards Ha Samal too, right?
No, you
Like
guys are just
towards-
stopping.
Right, but I'm just saying like
So-
that's the path that would lead to. We're good. Like I'm just saying like as I'm looking at the map right now and how it is, that's the one that's like going straight up towards.
I would say if there is a path going to Ha Samal, there is only one path.
I'm
So
not
you're
trying
going. No, you're good.
I'm-
You're good. I
I'm
just
not
want
trying
yeah,
to say
go
there's
ahead.
a path. I think we're spending
Okay.
too much time
We
on
could
this.
just stop where we're at and feed.
You
water
said
the
path.
horses, then move on.
You gotta understand. Sometimes we say things, Joe, and like a path is not literally necessarily a path. Like sometimes a road is a path, and it's a social
sometimes a
track,
path
and it's
is
Sometimes the path is the friends we made along the journey.
exactly.
I came to a fork in the road, and the two paths came before me, and they both sucked.
And they both suck.
And they both
And I swear, as a DM, I feel like viewers are watching this, like, man, he's really like adamant about it. Like I promise you, it is actually very important whether you go off to the left or if you go off to the right. That's what I need to know.
The big bad of this campaign is a social engineer, and he's just the
Right?
road man.
We need to know.
I've created the roads.
His
Again,
name is
we could
His name
just
is
stop
Highway,
right
and he's an
now.
Aarakocra. No, it's good.
Yeah.
We
Yep,
could just
he's an
stop
Eric
where
Coker.
we're at.
Or you can just stop where you're at.
Yeah, just feed and water the horses, let them sit for a second, and then keep going. Just get to as level a ground as we can, and that's as good as we're gonna get.
Yeah.
Look, Codex told me that there's some crazy shenanigans going on, and something's trying to get us.
Who's Codex?
Jet pulls out his book. This is Codex.
I have never met a book that talks.
Hearing this conversation outside, Adim looks very satisfied that he is outside.
Adim's like, my
Is this-
priorities lined perfectly.
This conversation is happening in the covered wagon, and this is to make sure that I catch with my brain where we are. Ianthe and Adim are up front. Prisha and Jet are in the back with Alyssa and Ewolf. Titian is out, like kind of surveying the area around on Barb, the cassowary steed. And then where is Grian?
I think Grian is in the cart. Probably going to be somewhat annoying, just practicing his violin.
Oh God! In the covered wagon of the cart.
Oh no, man!
Yes,
My
yes.
bad.
Grian, go ahead and give me that performance check, DC 20. This is the first time you've tried to work on this thing, correct? I'm a music
It's
teacher,
like the
DC
second or
20.
Yeah, I'm with you there, Joe. I'll
Yeah.
back up at least 20.
I'm with you there. Oh.
Might as well be a bagpipe.
Hey, I played bagpipes. Stop.
So did I.
Oh, really?
So did I. In the very beginning, yeah, the very beginning of that was very bad.
Yeah, okay, true. Yeah. It got better once I learned how to tune them.
Right.
We said performance, right?
Yes.
All right,
This,
so perform.
you roll it up.
No way.
Oh no!
Would you like
It's
my
22.
inspiration?
The one.
Oh God!
It's a 22. It's an 18 plus a 4.
Okay.
What can he
Can I
not
spend my
do?
inspiration to make him roll with disadvantage?
No.
Uh,
Absolutely
with
not.
women,
No,
yes.
but I love it. 22. Okay, cool. Great. Yeah, with a 22, there is like two really just nasty notes. And then you realize you forgot to rosin the bow.
Ooh.
So you then put rosin on the bow, and all of a sudden you're like, okay. So this is your third time kind of like working through it. Green, can I ask you? I'm going to put you on the spot, Brandon. What are you trying to play? And for the record, this is not like a. This is not a Legend of Zelda. All of a sudden, you're going to transport somewhere. Just for the record, but yeah.
I think that because he's a beginner, I think that the one song that he just really tries to get down with is gonna be like the D&D rendition, I see no Prisha, of like Hot Cross Buns, and he's just like,
Yeah.
meh, meh, meh.
I was about
He's
to-
killing it.
I
He's
thought
like,
you were
okay.
about to say Wonderwall.
Yeah.
Yeah, he can play Wonderwall for the third time.
He hasn't said anyway yet.
Anyway.
Anyway.
Yeah, so there's like two notes where like I think, you know, like Jet and Pressure, you guys are like in mid conversation, just like saying, so yeah, we could probably stop. Ah! Sorry, what were you ah!
Codex is like, shut that asshole.
Codex is
And I will say,
bonkers right now. Like, I'm
It is-
talking about Codex, trying to hand him to Prisha as like, here, maybe you can talk to him, and he's just like screaming.
To Prisha.
yeah, that's an interesting thing that's happening too right now. So while this conversation is going on, which by the way, in a covered wagon with a violin, you are you're only a couple decibels lower than yelling to each other, I think. Third day practicing violin. Dynamics is definitely on the back end of learning.
Adina's up front with Ianthe, just looks over at Ianthe and says, I've heard worse. And keeps looking around.
Yeah. I think there is a level of impressed.
Long, I'm like, Adina's like, meh, all right. He's got something.
You're the perfect amount of space away and having that cloth where it's like,
right? I'm like,
yeah, actually, that's really good.
All right.
Titian, you're probably even more impressed. I don't know. Anyways, okay. So we handle that. We've handled. We still haven't handled exactly where we're stopping, but so as you guys are having that conversation, I will say in the idea of. Let's see what's important here. Yeah. Okay. Cool. So. Do you guys think that you stop where you are and then just like kind of like collect water and bring it to the horses from a runoff that's about maybe like 50 feet away, or do you think you go off in that direction towards them?
I'm going to suggest we don't go anywhere for water. We've got Ianthe and me.
Yeah, we've got
Sure.
it covered.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Let's not do that, please. Because I can create water at will, and it's a lot. So I will. Between me and Ianthe, if anyone's thirsty, we can make fresh water. We have a direct connection to the elemental plane of water. So
I like that a lot.
Wow.
So you guys are pausing for a second. Adim, Ianthe, you have a very, very nice kind of like brother sister moment on like filling buckets for the horses to be able to drink. That is conveniently on the wagon. Thank goodness.
I'm probably like, okay, so you do fresh water. Let me try that. And like, I'm probably making seawater first, and then like, oh yeah, that's not drinkable, is it? They won't like that. Okay,
That's actually the opposite of what we need. Maybe try again?
Yeah, and I was, I mean, I can create water, so I get the hang of it. But there's a moment of, oh, they don't like the salt. Okay.
At that, Ianthe, give me a history check.
History. Where are my good d20s? I believe 18.
You are I'm so sorry for the positivity of that good roll. Reminds you that you are not entirely sure where your hippocampus friend is.
Thanks for that. I think maybe I just, in the dirt, scratch out a little picture of her with a stick.
Noticing that, a deem, when he has time before the end of the evening, will sketch a picture of her in his book.
Cool.
And he's not keeping a secret. Like when he's with Anthony, he's just like, "Hey, look," you know, like, trying to sketch a decent picture of it, like just to make her cheer up a little bit.
I'm going to say give me a performance check, and I think you're proficient with this. So go ahead and add your proficiency modifier if it's not already there.
I'm not proficient with it, but I rolled a 16 without any kind of proficiency.
Add that proficiency.
I'm not sure what
19?
it would be.
It's on your sheet.
Well, no, it's a +1. I'm just not proficient. So, what would it be if I could?
So your proficiency is, I think, above your initiative. I'm pulling up the.
Oh, okay. So in that case,
just like add it to it.
Oh, I'm sorry. I
+4.
get it. So
like,
+4, so 20. A dirty 20.
Nice, cool. It's a drawing, so like there's no like color to it. But it's incredibly accurate. It's really nice. Anthony, as you see that, as the dean is kind of pointing to it.
It's amid all the pictures like that I'm drawing as we go. You know, because I'm taking a moment from guarding and just drawing this rock or this area. And also mapping, because I'm trying to make just keep myself busy with my paper. I've always, people who don't know me very well, Adim is enthralled by paper and things are written, but he does not like your book.
He doesn't like what?
Speaking about that book.
Codex.
The book that talks.
Yes.
The book that talks.
Shit.
But he likes
about that
paper and
book.
writing.
Yeah.
While as we come to a stop and kind of like pile out, Green is gonna go to Jet. Hey Jet, do you have that book that you took from the library that I could read, if you don't mind?
Yeah. Jet reaches into his bag, which is mostly comprised of just this massive book, and pulls it out and hands it to you. It weighs like 10 pounds, right?
Codex, right?
No.
No,
Codex
it's the library book.
This is a book that is titled Creation.
Sweet. Do you know where exactly in the book it might be, or should I just start flipping pages?
Jet took notes on it, so he like looks at it and goes, page 42. And just like points at one of them. Anything that he's going to remember and take notes on, it's going to be like, okay, it's going to be somewhere around this. If it's important. Oh, you're specifically talking about the language I couldn't understand, right?
Yeah, it would be everything in the book.
Point out that.
Cool. Awesome. If you don't mind, I'm going to take it and read it over there, if that's okay.
Please do. Also, could you not play the violin when people are sleeping, please?
You know, that's fair. That's definitely fair. It's like a walk off.
If not, I mean, you could just be outside of the bubble and I could block out noise. It's up to you. But then we won't hear if something sneaks up on us.
You know, I'll find a better time to practice the violin. I think that's pretty good point. I was wicked with the pan flute, and he'll just kind of like start thinking to himself as he walks away.
That is a very good point. As an adventurer, like with what time do you get to better yourself and create new hobbies and abilities, such as violinery?
When we're like at an inn or something, probably is more
mid-combat. Pull out the
I just have to
violin.
remember that I have this violin, so I'm like, yeah, I have to use it.
Play so poorly they flee.
No, it's we're in the middle of combat and Grian pulls out the violin and starts playing the Devil Went Down to Georgia. Like just
So, like, actually a bard.
actually.
So I have kept your perception rolls. Your perception rolls we're gonna kind of like be keeping for the rest of the day.
Great.
However, there is something actually specifically I want to have. I believe only Grian and Jet roll. So roll that perception check for me, please.
Yay!
Oh Lord Jesus!
I rolled good.
Another 15.
19 total.
Hey.
Ooh. Come on, 19.
Okay.
We're gonna get ambushed, and I'm gonna roll nothing but ones. I can feel it. All my luck's
Absolutely.
here.
I know. I'm waiting for it.
100%.
Oh God.
Cool.
Does my familiar need to roll for any of this at all either?
I believe you said your familiar is outside of the wagon, surveying
Yeah, just
everything
flying
around,
in
right?
circles around. Yeah.
Cool. This was for inside the wagon.
Oh.
Chelsea, I need specifics.
I don't know what.
What is happening?
Oh, it'll be the liar.
Cool.
Because I don't think I actually have a loot.
Cool. Prisha, can you it says Grian, you rolled a 15 or 16?
15.
15. Okay, cool. Yeah, I would say 15 does it. So Grian and Jet, as Jet, you have handed over the book to Prisha as you continue to talk to Grian about trying to kind of figure out where and when would be the best time to be practicing his instrument. As you guys go ahead and look back at Prisha, Prisha, can you please tell me what Prisha looks like in this moment?
Prisha hasn't opened the book. She is holding it in both hands, just like dazed out. She is looking at it, seeing like the cover page. It says creation on top. Did I get that or codex?
No,
Codex. These
Codex.
two different
Codex.
books.
Thank you. Okay, thank you.
Yep.
Codex
She's
is
looking
like
at codex.
Good.
No, please. What's the cover
It's just
look
like a black leather book with a small, I say small, like a teardrop shaped turquoise gem inside of it.
Okay, well, that's terrifying. Yeah,
there's a spirit
she's-
inside of it.
Valid, honestly. So she's holding the book, and she hasn't even opened Codex yet, but she's holding it, and she seems to just be, like, not listening to anything. There's no, like, recognition at the banter between Grian and Jet. She's just kind of, like, staring past it, almost. And not moving.
Oh wait, Prisha can like see things, right? Does that
What are
mean
you guys doing?
Does that mean you can see what Codex looks like?
What are you guys doing?
Does she
I
look?
assume you're asking them, not all the rest of us.
Yeah, these are only people that are in the
Okay, I
covered
was like,
wagon part.
what do you mean what I'm doing? I'm drawing for my sister.
Does she look okay? I mean, I don't know her that well, so I don't know if this is like normal for her to just be like that.
That's a good question. Is Codex talking to me still?
Nope.
Oh, like I would. The first thing I would do is be like, "Hey, Codex, you okay?"
Nothing.
I'm gonna grab Codex. I'm just gonna be like, "Yoink."
Give me a wisdom save.
Oh no, come on. This can only end poorly. Hey, that's not terrible. 15, and you said wisdom save? That is a 20.
I also rolled a 15.
Good. That is very good. We're going to cut to what's happening to Prisha right now.
Oh no.
Prisha, your senses go dark. You are no longer in a covered wagon. You are in a field, graveyard. But there are no gravestones. There are just leftover pieces of what you've seen from the guards in Dair's Wharf. You've seen kind of covers over their chests, and it's made of that hard metal that you're only newly familiar with. It's dark. Everything is a pale grayish blue. You find yourself walking as if you're almost in a dream, passing by these countless forms looking like statues standing at attention, but only the armor. You hear a voice that fills your head. It's so loud that you wince at the beginning of each word. Every hard consonant feels like an ice pick behind your eyes. Who is holding this book?
My name is Prisha. What's yours?
Who is holding this book?
A friend, I think.
You are no friend of mine, and you are lying to me. Who is holding this book?
My name is Prisha.
You dare to try to befuddle me like some trickster spirit. I ask you again. And all of a sudden you were back. Jet, you have pulled the book out of her hands. And Prisha, as you come to, what do you do?
Prisha immediately scrambles as far away from that book without leaving the wagon as she can. She scrambles back until her back hits I assume there's a railing on the inside.
You met him, didn't
What?
you? He's a friend. Yes, I know. Would you stop? I understand. It won't happen again. Stop.
What is going on?
Yeah, what the fuck is this?
Hey Alyssa, Jet is going to put Codex in his backpack.
Cool.
And he's gonna like take a knee and like put his hand on Alyssa's shoulder and do his like creepy alligator smile and be like, everything's okay. It's just
Oh God. Too many teeth, man.
oh, well, I was told that to ease the tension, you smile.
But less teeth.
Jet closes his lips so there's 2 less teeth showing.
How many teeth do you have?
How do you need?
I don't. How many teeth do I have?
I don't know.
Do you think
Do you think Jet knows?
he would know? But I don't know how many teeth a dragonborn would have. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Definitely more than a
like
human. I could say that.
60, something like that. Maybe I don't know.
That is
Sure.
the number.
It'd be like
Let's do the
59.
Google.
He'd be like missing 1 tooth in the back.
You need like 40 less teeth.
That.
Like 40 or even 50. Just like
But
maybe
then I can't chew.
if you can
right.
fuse some of them together. You just like liquids. That's your whole thing. Good morning.
Good morning. Oh, I held on to this for you, and Jet goes into his backpack and pulls out a giant brick of smush pastries.
Oh, good! I'm so hungry! And grabs it and just starts eating
And
it.
he
She seems to be
rips off
momentarily
pieces.
distracted.
And it starts handing them to everybody.
Cool. Nice.
As you try to hand one to Prisha, she smacks it out of your hand.
Oh, well, okay.
Prisha,
everybody
you
liked pastries.
right? You okay?
I think she met him.
The guy in the
Oh.
book.
The guy in the book.
There's a person in there?
At one point, he was a person.
Now he's like fear. He's so angry.
Yeah.
All right,
he
well-
gets that way.
I'm just waking up and hearing this conversation. Alyssa, do you want to come with me to the front to figure out, are we stopped for some reason? Or?
Oh, we
Water
stopped
in
to
the
tend the horses.
Great. Well, Alyssa, you know how much you... This isn't my accent. Alyssa, you know how much you... Forget it. It's Ewolf. You like
We got it.
horses? Let's go see our Genasi friends. Full like face stuff and pastries. Okay. So Titian, I think at this point, like you've kind of like made it back here to the group. I'll say in like looking for like clearings and things like that. You've been like out trying to kind of find like a good spot, and you see that at this point they've kind of just decided to kind of stay where they are. But yeah, as you approach, you see Ewolf and Alyssa exiting the cart, and Ewolf just maybe looking a little bit hurriedly to like move to the front of the cart where Ianthe and Adema are.
And he's explicitly with Alyssa. I think Titian just sort of like, if they're going to where Adim and Ianthe are, then I think Titian, like, everything's kind of messed up right now. So, like, he's not going to, like, jump on that. Like, Ewolf's stressed, we're all stressed, that's fine.
Do you think do you think Titian is coming back from the moment of being told like, hey, we should stop somewhere, and Titian just went off and was like, I'll find a place, and now you're back and they've stopped? Yeah.
I think it's literally like Titian has taken it upon himself to, like, I think Titian in this moment is both like trying to like stay busy, like he is like, oh yeah, I'll go, like no one told him to go get water, no one told him to go find a spot to clear. He's just like, yeah, I'll do that, like that's what I'm going to go do. So he's starting to do that, but I think the level underneath that, though, is that Titian is really taking advantage of this time alone
Oh, okay.
and nobody questioning it. I think he's like really kind of taking this moment of like rest from the party to return, like after everything that's happened in Dair's Wharf, in a way.
Okay.
So I think if he sees, I imagine they're towards the front of the cart. I think Titian might like. I think if everyone stopped, he's gonna try to stay. He's gonna go towards like the back of the cart. I think he's gonna go to like an end where no one is, and I think he's gonna like rest a little bit himself still.
Okay. So it's
gonna-
a covered wagon, so you're going to be coming in on this conversation. The wagon's not very big, so you're going to be coming kind of in this conversation to rest. But yeah, that's cool. All right, that's good to know.
Yeah. And like, I don't necessarily want to be like, it's okay if like he overhears a little bit of stuff, but I think what Titian is going to do now is, he's gonna ask Barb to keep an eye out because they can communicate and keep doing that stuff. But I think Titian's just gonna. Yeah. Like he's just communicating with Barb. Yeah. We can speak in common, probably. This is fun.
I think you can, and she understands it. She just hears you just making fun of her.
It just says we can communicate telepathically.
Yeah. But you're outwardly.
Yeah, I'm just like outwardly, just like.
She pecks at your head that you find maybe lovingly, like she just really is telling you to stop it.
Yeah.
Swing her at it.
But yeah, I think Titian is going to. He's going to set Barb out to keep looking, and he'll keep tabs on people, like with his ears. He'll sort of try to keep tabs on people, but from a distance. And I think what he wants to do is, I found it funny because everyone's talking books right now. He's going to pull out a book for himself, and I think he's going to take a second to start reading on it in that book, Shakur, History of Ha Samal.
Okay.
And I think he's specifically going to look for sections related to the Imminence to get a better understanding of it.
I just want to make sure that you understand it might be difficult to like feel like you're able to be alone reading this book here. So when I say
really?
Like this,
yeah.
Okay, cool. So
there's no real like, this is that situation where it's like you're at school. You can't really get away from anybody at school, but you can go sit at this other lunch table. You can sit at the other end of the lunch table or something like that. Like,
right.
I'm positioning myself at the back of the cart where there's nobody else intentionally, but like I know I can still hear everyone around me. I'm just trying to tune them out. Like I'm not gonna go off by myself.
This is a 6-person lunch table that you have chosen a corner on. That's
Yes.
Cool. So you guys are in the middle of this conversation. All of a sudden, you see a giant lion's head poke out through the covering in the back.
Hey, Titian,
as you guys are
comfort Prisha?
I'm sorry. What was that?
Can you comfort Prisha? I don't think I'm capable of doing that. She met Codex.
You don't need to talk about me like I'm not here.
I didn't say you weren't here. For a second there, it seemed like you weren't, though. I think you went to him.
Yeah, you were kind of just there and spaced out.
Where was that? It was dark, and there were. Does Titian wear armor?
No.
Like metal.
He has one metal like little shoulder.
Grian does.
Whatever it is.
Grian wears like plate.
Yeah, he's got breastplate.
He doesn't have the curious that you're familiar with.
Okay.
Or that you're gonna reference.
Okay. It was dark. There were bodies, and they had metal.
Like they had armor. They wore. What's your metal armor?
Jet's going to
armor is something that is supposed to protect you. It's not a metal sheet.
Actually, do I even have the spell? I don't have that spell. Never mind. I cannot create an illusion of what I saw in Curus. Huh.
Bummy.
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
Well,
he
you're
will
saying
describe it as best he can, like suits of armor, like men, but there's no men inside.
Yes.
I've been there.
And when he speaks, it's like a poker in your eye.
Yes, I completely agree. Non-stop, all the time.
Did he also not accept your name?
He hasn't told me his.
Well, no, but he would not accept mine.
Oh, that is interesting. I mean, most of the time he called me Lizard for a while, and then he called
That
me.
seems rude.
Yeah, well, you met him, and then after that he called me. He called me by my name, once, at least once.
Jet, you're a wizard. Give me a history check here.
Ooh, yay, something I might be good at. Ooh, 19 plus 9. Ooh, that's one of my good ones. 28.
Cool. With a 28, you are looking at Prisha, and there's a moment that you recognize what Prisha is, and therefore where Prisha is most likely from. And the idea of saying, like in the way that Prisha said, like, he refused to think that that was my name. That is enough to kind of recognize that Prisha is a satyr, which is a fey creature, and there's a lot of power in the fey realms when it comes to names. And you think there's a possibility that Codex may have thought he was being tricked.
You're from the Fae, right? The Wilds?
I am from these wilds.
These Wilds. Do you know much about pixies and sprites?
I would not have seen one in Massetti. Correct?
Oh boy, yeah. We haven't really fully covered this, so I think I'll say, Prisha, give me a history check with disadvantage. It's not impossible that you know what a pixie is.
DM, I rolled a 19 and a 20.
Whoa.
Hell yeah.
Hands.
I think she
That
knows
is
what a pixie is.
You define for me, and take your time, why you know not only what a pixie is, but say like other sort of like fey creatures. Like, you know that satyrs are traditionally from the Fae.
I think that Prisha probably knows. I don't think she's ever met a pixie, but I do think that Den Mother Udris might have taught her about them for no reason other than Prisha is very voluntary with information, and she probably would have tried to warn her not to be, because of the visual association of like Prisha being Fae.
Okay.
But I don't think it's a lesson that has stuck with her, obviously.
Right. I will also say with that, because I wouldn't say that I stepped in it here, but I think in the idea of the very good roles that was and the choice of your reasoning for it, I will tell you, she didn't tell you a lot.
Yeah.
So she probably only told you satyrs are traditionally from the Fae, and there are a couple other sort of Fae creatures. There's like fairies and pixies, which are kind of like the smaller, sort of like lesser form of them in some ways, and then she was
tricksy.
like, and then she said, and here's a bucket, and I need to make sure you need to go do your chores.
Okay. I know that satyrs are from the Fae, and I know that there are pixies that exist. And
You know they're tricksters, right?
no.
Oh, they're notorious for leading people off of the trail and then trading information that you don't want traded. And the Fae is full of a lot of mystery and a lot of secrets, which is I studied it a lot because I love secrets. But there's a lot to it that's kind of mischievous, and some of it's a little darker, like red caps and nastiness. But there's all sorts of like
Like
fantastical,
cats with a
pretty
hat?
creatures. Yeah, they wear like mushroom hats, and if they don't put mortal blood on them, they die. They're terrible.
Am I mortal?
I think so. I don't know if any of us are mortal until we die, right? I mean, Grian's probably not mortal. He's an angel.
Can
Hey, DM, I have a
Uh,
question about.
Can
I
I-
would like
can I
to
just-
reference something.
we have a question about mortality.
I
If
just
we're
say
gonna
that
have this
Tishian stealth his way
conversation-
out of this conversation? Like, he's stealthed his way.
Quite
like, "Oh,
impossible,
no."
but I will allow it for RP's sake. Yes.
Like, Tishian
Somehow,
just
Tishian has laid
No.
himself out so flat that he looks like he's a rug.
He's the rug.
Yes.
But like,
Yeah.
I've exited the wagon, and now I'm just like
Okay.
10 feet away from it, sitting crisscross applesauce on the ground by myself.
Got it. You'll hear the wagon wheels start. You'll know. You can catch up.
Yeah, I'm fine.
Prisha's gonna just look over at Grian. Please remind me and correct me if I'm wrong. Prisha got a weird, similar, familiar vibe from Grian, and then it was not something that she could like latch onto long enough to like identify, correct? Like when she first bumped into Grian after being pushed by Ewolf?
Correct. Yeah, there's
Okay.
a weird sort of sense, but you also felt like there was also a disconnect. There is something that the thing that we are dancing around. I don't entirely know if Prisha knows, but that's your choice.
Okay.
If you want to actually message me, if you don't mind, on whether or not you think Prisha knows. But we'll take it from Grian being called an angel.
I mean, I've been.
Angels don't really. I mean, I guess they can die, but they can live for like ever, right?
I mean, I've died before, but I don't.
What?
I don't know how long we can live. I really don't know much about
You've died.
my people.
What was? Actually, I kind of know what that's like. In a weird
You
way.
do?
Yeah.
Tishian
More of where
somehow
I've
just
been.
scoots further away.
Oh, good. We're talking about death now. Great.
He
This is the dead
uh,
people club on the left.
Like,
cheek.
This is
He's
this is
so
an incredibly
Like, ooh, that's a nice tree.
Tishian's over here just eating his rats that he got from the vendor, and like just like
cool. I think it's an incredibly weird place to pause you guys and move to the front of the wagon, but that's what we're gonna do. Cool. So we're actually gonna cut just before, like, I would say like maybe about a solid minute or two before Ewolf and Alyssa actually comes up. So it's just Anthony and Nadim. You guys have kind of like finished like getting the water for horses. There's like a smile between you both. Take it away from there.
That's a really nice drawing. Thank you.
Oh. You're welcome.
I feel bad. I shouldn't have left her like that.
Left to Daphne?
Coral
Oh, Coral.
and Daphne.
Well, Daphne can take care of herself, and I'm guessing so can Coral.
My relationship with Daphne is significantly more complicated than my relationship with Coral.
I picked up on that from what little I've seen.
Welcome to the world of siblings. You love them and you hate them at the same time.
Okay. The sibling thing is new. Sorry.
Hey, do you mind keeping an eye? I'm gonna pop behind that rock just there. Titian gave me some armor that might be a bit easier to get around in than this giant gown. So I'm gonna go change real quick. I'll be right there.
Adim looks shocked she's taking the gold gown off. Like, what? But he's like, yeah, sure. And he'll probably step so he's midway between the wagon and the rock she's behind. So if he hears something, he can do something about it.
I just had to look up real quick. I didn't know sorcerers got light armor proficiency.
They don't, but bards do.
Bards do? That's crazy. I didn't know that. Cool. Good to know.
I checked.
Yeah, thank you.
Let me check again,
cool.
because now I'm nervous.
No, it says proficiency light armor. I was trying to figure out where it came from, so thank you.
She's a bard now.
Yeah. Cool. So yeah, about maybe 45 seconds or so goes by as Alyssa kind of comes bounding up and goes, "Hi."
To me, I assume. Well,
Yeah.
to which one of us? She's behind the rock. Okay.
She's behind the rock.
Yeah. What's up, Alyssa? I'll kind of kneel down, and I say it loud enough so Anthony can hear.
Oh, nothing. And she just lays her head on your arm.
Oh. Okay. I've had that position. I feel real uncomfortable because I can't put my arm around her then. So I'm just like, oh, okay. Just kind of like I let her be, and I'm just I start using my my chakram as a spin wheel on my finger. Just.
What are you doing?
Right now I'm just guarding. It's not very exciting when nothing's happening, or it's too exciting when too much is happening. I like it better this way.
Yeah, there's so much happening in the wagon. There's
What?
like
I'm
people are
what?
like, yeah, people are like backing away from each other and going like, ah, and then E-Wolf kind of like comes and goes, all right, so that's all right, thank you, Alyssa. No, that's fine. Ianthe around? What?
Is there a problem in the wagon?
No.
Is there a problem that
Is
requires?
Ianthe around?
And he holds up the chakram.
Absolutely not.
Okay, awesome, great, okay.
And
you asked for
but
Ianthe?
is Ianthe around?
She's trying on some new clothes.
Okay, all right. I'll
Have a seat.
Okay, so there might be a problem. Definitely don't need that.
Okay.
And I'm trying to be as nice as I can here. Trying to pick the right words. And you see him just seemingly like waiting to see if I think roll me like a I don't know, roll me a athletics check. No, it's getting in and out of clothes. It is an acrobatics check, and if you didn't have proficiency, you absolutely do. You do have
I
proficiency.
absolutely do.
Yeah, you're a theater kid. You're definitely able to do that.
Oh yeah. 16.
The idea of a theater kid background allowing you to quickly don and doff armor should be something in D&D.
As a theater
I
kid,
don't know.
100%.
Yeah, I don't know why
that is
that's not
skill.
in the player's guide or the what did you get? Sorry. 16. Yeah, cool. So yeah, you're very good at attacking things and like being very like straightforward and to the point, and it just made sense for. Oh, Ianthe, great. Sorry, 1 second. You see her just walk over. You see him walk over to Ianthe. Alyssa just says, "He doesn't think you're good with people."
That's because most people are stupid. And I look over at her. I want to look back at her.
She busts out laughing.
And I'll say I had a wink at the end, so I'm glad she liked that.
Oh, she loved that. She loved it. Incredible.
I also
Well-
love that.
Yes.
It's on point for a deed.
Ewolf
just-
comes walking up to you.
Walks up to you and
Go ahead.
leave me alone. I just whatever.
You just stick with what you're doing. Yeah, that's fair. You're hanging out with Alyssa.
Out for what he's saying to her though, but I just audibly focus
You
on
did-
them, visually focus on everything else I'm trying to guard.
You got it. Cool. You also said that you were like trying to kind of like look out for Alyssa during this whole sort of thing. So I think
Watch
if
out
you
for
wanted
this,
to, if you,
and just also
if you wanted to roll like an, if you wanted to roll like an insight check or whatever to kind of like get a vibe from Alyssa or anything, you certainly can. But in the
Master
meantime,
6, so yeah, she's just a little girl who laughed at my joke.
yep, you got it.
That's where I am right now with Alyssa. The team's thick.
So, Ewolf comes running up to you a little too fast. Hi. How is your... I think... It might be fine, because enough time has passed and we haven't heard any explosions. But, Jet's scaring people. Or Priscia's scaring people. Or they're just both scaring each other.
Oh, all right. Do you need me to step in?
I don't know. I guess the
Green.
choice is yours in that. I just figured, you were kind of the best at being able to kind of like talk. Green was there, but Green kind of like started off on the wrong foot because he was playing music that honestly I would wake up every morning to that, and that was incredible. I had no problem with that whatsoever. But like, how are you?
I'm all right. What do you
On
what
the
do you
side
think
behind the
about-
rock, as he's talking, Adib's doing this to just like
Yep.
to Alyssa.
Yep. Yeah. Alyssa's doing the like holding her hands clasping together. Yeah, exact. Thank you. Yes. Case, yeah. Like clearly within Ianthe's eyesight, but Evil's facing the opposite way.
Oh, I don't mind if she sees me either.
Yeah. Oh god, that's right. Okay, cool.
You shitheads.
Yes. Ewolf rolls a 9. Ewolf goes, "Oh, I like yeah. Yep. Good.
I want to point out because it's magical armor, so I've decided it does not leave a lot to the imagination.
Incredible. I love it. Yeah. Is it looks cool. Looks like you're not gonna heat up, or you're not gonna feel hot, like breezy.
Yeah, a bit. I just thought it would be a little less cumbersome than a big gown. And Tishian gave it to me, and it I don't know. I think it kind of suits me.
Yeah.
You
I
recognize
like it.
right? Like you know where that's from, right, Anthony?
Oh, I don't know if I do or not.
All right.
Okay. I say you could roll. You could roll if you'd like, or if you can say just choose to say that I don't think she does.
I'll roll because I can't decide if I want to or not.
Okay. Let's say probably history,
Ooh,
recent history.
that would be a 9.
Cool. Yeah, you have no idea where it
I
came
don't
from.
I don't know. Tishian had this armor and he gave it to me.
Well,
Sounds kinda nice.
I mean, you. Cool. You certainly wear it better than him.
Well, thank you. Yeah, maybe that's why he gave it to me.
Yeah, I guess
What's
in a
going
way.
through the wagon?
Oh, yeah, maybe. Adema, you're. Looks back like actually yes, because if we're not rolling for this, what are we rolling for? I need both Adim and Alyssa to roll me. I want to say acrobatics check or sleight of hand check to be able to stop what they're doing quick enough, or you could choose to like fail and be like, I don't
It's the
care.
same roll for me, and just because I'm playing with Alyssa, Deem doesn't care if he sees, but because of it's Alyssa, I kind of want to make a
I like
show
that.
of it. So
I like that.
let me see. A 19.
Cool.
Nice.
Great. You rolled a 19. Alyssa doesn't see you stop because Alyssa's doing the kissy face thing to her own hand.
And he says a demon, I stop and I'm like, yeah, what's up, you wolf? You know, hide and seek. It's peekaboo.
Right.
You know, kids
Okay.
game.
Yeah. Well,
If I'm
on that
doing it
note,
right,
I
I'm
guess.
on the surface now. It's a little bit different on the water. Am I doing it right? I'm not sure. She seemed confused.
You look like you're got your hands full, so Anthony and I are gonna just make sure everything's good under the hood. Nope.
A Deem raises his eyebrow and looks at Ewolf, and like
The wagon, the wagon. All right. And he just starts walking off that direction. He doesn't wait for Anthony to catch up. He's just like walking out of frame.
Okay, does he take Alyssa or is Alyssa with us?
No, Alyssa's with you. That was what he was trying to get at, and just seems to
okay.
be not able to use words.
Okay.
Yeah.
As Anthony walks by, a Deem leans in and says, "You know, he's not going to ask you out. You should just ask him." And then just goes over back to Alyssa.
Ooh, that's Alyssa. Great. Cool. So it is at this moment catching up. First off, Alyssa, Ianthe, you see, Ewolf doesn't, which is fine. But Ianthe, you also see that Titian is like about 10 feet back, just sitting on a like a flat rock, but 10 feet back from the wagon. As Ewolf does not see that, kind of like pokes his head in the wagon, and you can hear from like his side, just like asking, like, "Okay, everything good in here?" But Ianthe, you can choose to either pay attention to the wagon or pay attention to Titian.
What's Titian's facial expression? Is he
It's a good question.
scared, content?
I would say it's a mixture of, I mean, I'll just tell you flat out. I won't make you roll an insight check or anything like that. I would say he looks very serious, and he is, his face is down looking at his lap right now. Probably from the angle that you're seeing him. His face is down looking at his lap, looking very serious. Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna walk and sit next to Titian.
Right.
And I think mindlessly, are there like tufts of grass? Or is it just rock?
Mm-hmm. Like truly like small tufts, like in patchy areas.
Okay, I'm gonna do the thing that you do when you're sitting on grass and like having a conversation and just absentmindedly pick at it.
Mm-hmm.
Or is that just me?
Yeah, no. Yep. 100%. That is me.
Mm. You do have fidgets, yes.
Hey.
Titian doesn't even look up. He goes, "Hey."
I've never seen you looking so pensive. Do you want to?
Hold on, you're looking at my what? What?
You just look like you're lost in thought. Maybe not.
Oh.
Maybe not good thoughts.
I'm doing okay. I'm doing fine.
Are you lying to me?
No.
Grian, roll me a d20.
Alright.
I got
This
a
is where
13
I'm gonna
insight,
roll.
so I'm probably like.
I mean, you can sort of tell, like Tishian.
It's a 1.
I'm so glad I made you roll. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say it was kind of cocked. It kind of just like hit it and bounced once. But if you want me to roll it, but it's a 1.
Nope, you're good. You're good. You're good. Thank you.
What is happening? Okay.
I thought I could trust that die.
No,
I
I'm-
apologize.
By the way, like I rolled. You said you rolled 13. I rolled less than that, so you can definitely tell Tishian is probably. I didn't roll an actual 1 like some people, but I definitely rolled lower than 13. But Tishian is definitely kind of probably. You can tell that he's trying to just keep something to himself. I feel like. No, I'm doing alright. Just over here. It's been a long couple of days. And we're just sort of, they're in the wagon. They seem to be having a little bit of drama in there, and I thought I would just take myself away from it for a little bit and try to keep watching this direction.
Sure. You're doing a great job of watching the ground.
Okay. I mean,
Tishian, it's a joke. I'm teasing.
I mean, but for real, if you have a problem with the way I'm doing watch, though, I mean, is there
No,
something?
of course not.
How would you keep watch, INT?
Well, it's not by looking up.
We got a cart of people talking about times they've died back there, and books talking to folks, and I'm sitting here and I'm just the first time I've not heard dead lions in my ear
No one
in
laughed.
the last 48
No one
hours. That was in character. And I'm sorry if I'm looking at the ground for a little bit long. I'll get up and start watch again. So you're saying like I need to stand up and look this direction? Is that what you're saying?
Tishian, I'm sorry. I was just trying to make a joke. Make light. Maybe that's not what you need right now, but you know we're here for you. You don't have to keep things from us. We want to help.
Yeah. Yeah.
You haven't.
Just really. What?
You haven't had any more visions, have you?
I hadn't. No. You know what? I think I gotta do a lap. I'm gonna go ahead and Hey, Barb, and he's gonna call out for Barb. And he's just gonna like.
Yours is better than mine.
Yeah, he's basically mooing. He's gonna like move. He's gonna move for his bird. No, I think it's time I go ahead and continue watch. So, Anthony, you probably better get back here. The small Leonin and the dragon guy are kind of like having a weird exchange about death, and I think Grian needs some backup. So I'm gonna go ahead and keep doing a lap, and like Tishian's just gonna walk off from there.
Okay. Great talk. Let's we'll catch up again.
Yep, let's do it. Let's do it again soon. All right.
Okay.
Hey,
Sorry-
we should catch
sorry-
up sometime. Yeah.
Sorry to introduce Moody Titian, but I'm trying to
No, I
introduce
like it.
Moody
I
Titian.
like it.
Mortician.
You play the character, please. Green, that natural one was not for you, just FYI. So Ewolf pokes his head and goes, "Hi, everybody, doing okay? You guys still making weird eye contact with each other?"
I think Green just kind of like looks Ewolf like in the eyes and makes weird eye contact with him.
Oh yeah, Jen
And
does
it's
the
like-
exact same. He just stares at him.
Nope. Why?
Goes full over his head. You see him kind of like look back out. You see him like go out. Okay, all right. I guess this is a good time as any. Prisha, you. I know this might bring up a sore spot, and again, I am very sorry for how I handled things. Do you have that letter?
No, Ianthe had it.
Why does Ianthe have it?
Didn't she take it from me?
Yeah,
She
I did.
Okay.
I think you asked
No, I have
her
it.
to give it to him. Yeah.
She
What-
said she would
what-
give it to you.
Okay.
If I'm being honest, I had no desire to see you again after you pushed me.
Right. Yeah, and I feel all those feelings, and I'm sure we need to have a discussion with them. But I think you're feeling. I'm gonna go. And you see him.
Why couldn't he
close
talk to the book?
wagon then.
Why did it have to?
Sorry to introduce Moody Prisha, guys.
I really like Moody Prisha.
We've
I
reached
really
the
like
end.
Moody
She's
Prisha.
another child. She's just like another.
It is very child. It is very child. Yes.
We're hitting our
No.
angsty stride as a group.
Yeah.
That's what I love.
Level 9, angsty. Let's do it.
Level 9, the angst.
That's the angsty.
You hit down level 5. He got out of it. I don't know. Was he or something?
Yeah. Cool. So yeah, Ewolf kind of like comes walking up to you and goes, to you, Ianthe. They seem to be. Well, I don't know. I have no idea, actually.
Yeah, I mean,
How's-
the wagon is still standing, so that's a good sign.
Yep. What's happening over there?
Titian's not doing great, I don't think. But clearly doesn't want to talk about it.
So, what does that look like? Like he was just making jokes the whole time about it, or?
No, actually, I made a joke and he got angry. I'm kind of worried about him.
Like, I'm gonna stab you with my giant, terrifying sword, angry?
No. Just sort of...
That's the only angry I've seen from Titian, besides the...
I know! I said I'm worried about him. He didn't make jokes, and he didn't start swinging his axe. He just got snippy and walked off. I've never seen this side of him.
Okay. Well, maybe I should go talk to him. Oh, nope, he's on that. I'm not going to catch up to that.
I can make one for you.
It's all right. Well,
Can I just ask, is Ewolf canonically afraid of giant birds? Is that what this is? Or is that-
He is now.
possibly. It could possibly be that, for sure. I'll tell you as a DM, I hadn't fully decided yet, but that sounds good.
He was bitten by a chicken as a child.
Wild goose attack.
Bitten. Not pecked at. Bitten.
I had a goose eat my shoe once, or try to. Fine.
Is this Prisha or is this Kay?
That is a genuine, real
Yes.
thing that has happened to me.
I like
But
it.
also,
In the
yes.
actual physical
and-
world.
I like this. I like this a lot. Cool. So Ianthe, you do feel like it is just a big bowl of awkward in this small bubble that you're in right now. I think if you choose to leave it, he will choose to go somewhere else or go with you, and it's fully dependent upon you.
Well, everything here seems to be a bit under control. Do you want to maybe go off and scout ahead a bit? I don't really know how this whole being in the woods things works, but my sister always talked about like scouting ahead.
Yeah, I can. Just.
Let's give it a try.
Yeah.
What could
Okay.
happen?
All right. Great. Just give me 1 second. Just because I left something in the wagon. So just
Okay.
2 minutes. Or one. I'll be right back. You'll see me. Not that you. Not like staring, but like. Okay. And you see him move back to the back of the carriage, stick his head in. I imagine you guys are still in mid conversation. So he is
Popping in and
interrupting
out.
you. Yeah, he is interrupting you to pop his head in and then say to Pressure, so Pressure, like, what did she, when she said, like, yeah, I'll take it and give it to him, like, what does she seem to, does she seem like did she seem like she was just, like, bothered by, like, recent events, or was it something that's, like, she, like, felt like it was, like, her responsibility, or what?
Prisha might have an inkling that Ewolf might feel an emotion right now.
Sure. Sure. Yeah. There's a
I
possibility
didn't
there.
roll very high. It wasn't that good of a roll.
Cool.
You're very weird. And
Okay,
nervous.
that's fine.
She
Got it.
told me that she would give it to you because you wouldn't push her.
That's hard to read into. Green, what do you think?
Green was
This is
there.
the nat one. This is the nat one. He is fully not understanding the level of what is happening in the wagon right now.
I
Wolf
mean,
and these nat ones are going to be the downfall of our relationship.
I love this man.
That is going to forbid him from coming into the bubble until the next time that he casts the bubble. After this
That's
moment.
fine.
Just so everyone is
That's fine.
It's
aware.
ridiculous.
That's fine.
I mean,
It's fine.
bro, if you're gonna just go for it, I would just go for it.
Okay. Right.
Go for what?
Well, we'll have this talk a little bit later. I think when it's, I mean, it might be the three of us again. I'm not quite sure. Buddy, Ewolf, if you're gonna go for it, just go for it. Just remember that we all do travel together, so.
I wouldn't
Right.
recommend going anywhere. It could be dangerous out there.
Yeah, I guess when you're saying go for it, when okay, that just for the record, I'm not like saying that. I'm not asking that opinion. I'm saying like just because like I don't know if I'm ready
Do
for
you want the letter?
that. I mean, he is now fully not thinking. He's in Grian speak. Grian is talking in a euphemism, for lack of a better word. I think in this moment, Ewolf immediately thinks that Prisha is using that same concept and like, do you want this? And so he goes, I don't know. I mean, it's. I feel like I'm ready. Maybe.
Oh god.
Well, if that's
But also,
the
if
case,
it's gonna
we
be
can go
weird
out
for
in
you
the woods
guys.
if you'd like. Oh, what do you mean? Why would it be weird that you're not here?
No, just if I
Above board,
went for it.
sorry. Above board, what is Alyssa's sister's name?
Elian.
Eliane.
Eliane.
Yeah.
Okay. Prisha does not get that there is a presumed
Yeah.
subtext.
Sure.
For the record.
Yeah.
Yeah. If
You're ready to read Eliane's letter.
Oh, yeah. No, that's not. Oh, that is a weird feeling hearing that name right now.
if you're, either pick a time to do it, and you're either going to do it now, or if you're ready for it, pick a time later when the time is right.
Oh, it's
Prisha, I
reading
need
a
you to roll
letter?
me a
Do you need me to
d20
read
for
you?
Ewolf.
God, I hope it's another that one. God, I hope
Prisha
it's
dropping
that one.
an emotional bomb.
KO! It is a 15.
Okay.
Boy's starting to get it.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. I think you set the DC. Cool. Sweet. Okay. This has been a good talk. Thank you, everybody. I hope you're doing good with whatever was going on with the death thing. Carry on.
So anyway, Fae are very mischievous.
I don't understand how... What happened? In character, all sides. I don't understand.
That was
Okay.
weird. If he wanted to read something, why didn't he just read it?
Well, maybe it would talk to him and yell at him.
Look. Trust me when I say I've been yelled at more than anyone probably has ever had. Like it's nonstop
I
all
don't
the
think
time.
that justifies you handing a yelling book to somebody else.
It's never spoke to anyone before. Just me.
Why would it yell at me?
I don't know. He's mean.
Part of Grin's like, why wouldn't it yell at this point? Like, I don't understand.
Why wouldn't this happen?
I'm like,
It's Jack over here, like,
why wouldn't he yell?
I mean, he yells at me all the time. Like, if I so much as don't open a door the proper direction, he yells at me. I didn't know doors. Do you know how long it took me to understand how doors work?
One direction?
Well, I guess you're not trying hard enough. When I first moved into towns, and got acquainted with the way people are, I would just pull them, and sometimes they didn't move.
I don't think I've ever had a door.
Oh, well, that's interesting. So, are you
Is that where
okay?
this conversation is ending up?
Wait, did you say with the ends or ends up going?
It
Is
ends
that where
with-
this conversation is
yeah.
ending?
That's an
Chip
unbelievable
100%
spot to
doesn't
end.
have enough social, like, he could not keep it going. He's just going to be,
Tell me you're
That
a
is-
set of neurodivergent folks without telling me.
Oh my god.
That's been in society for what, like 4 years, maybe? He doesn't understand
More like
social
2 days
cues.
for Prisha. 2 days.
Yeah.
Yeah, his whole race of people speak telepathically, and everyone yells at him when he does it. It's
Cool. So what I would like to do here, so we'll say, for clarification's sake, Ewolf says to Ianthe, very like, okay, ready. We're good.
Great. How do we do this? How do we stop?
Oh, I've never done this without a weapon before. A dame! And goes to the front of the thing. Hey, buddy, Can I borrow just
extremely confused by that term coming from.
Yeah.
But, yes.
Can I borrow just like a weapon? If you have like some sort of like ranged thing.
He uses as much as he can without using a superiority die to flick a dagger at his feet.
Yeah, I love it.
Will that do, or do you need something else? I have one of these too. Other side hand axe.
That one definitely looks better. I'm going to take that.
Which one does he take?
Take the hand axe.
Okay, it's +1. Your team reaches out, gets the dagger, and sheathes it.
Oh, this feels... haven't held a weapon technically since yesterday, but... Alright, I'm not...
It's one of gold. It's, just so you know, it's one of the gold ones.
Oh, yeah, okay, right. I just thought it was like a yellow metal.
No, it's gold.
I know, that was a joke. Sorry, okay, alright.
Why am I giving you my axe?
He's already gone. He's like already walks off.
Enjoy. God help those trees. Okay.
So he goes, all right, well, let's go check it out. And so basically, like, Ianthe and Ewolf kind of like walk off, and I would say it is like a slow walk. I'm not gonna necessarily RP that at least at this moment, because I do want to cut over to Titian. Titian, if I may, because I think there is some very serious stuff going on in Titian's mind. So you can tell me whether or not you're just thinking about these things, or if you are trying to talk to Barb about these things. And that is your choice, sir.
I don't think he would be talking to Barb about them. I think he's thinking them. I mean, he's linked telepathically to Barb, so like,
Right.
there's that avenue. But I don't think he's into. I think he's like doing that. Like, he's just sort of thinking them through, and he's thinking to himself, like,
Yeah, you got it. So what's Titian thinking about?
he's trying to. He's still sort of stuck on what he encountered in Dair's Wharf. He's stuck on, since we last left him, the message he sent to Missing, and sort of the implications of what Missing and Daphne are doing. He's sort of finding himself stuck. He can't fully get that out of his head and focus on what's in front of him right now. He's finding himself really thinking about, like, the afterlife that he encountered. Like, he just now has the space to really reckon with that in a different way. So he's now really thinking through, like, oh, holy fuck, I was in the afterlife. I was in the afterlife for a second. You know, and, you know, with that comes all the baggage of thinking about that, which is, I've not been a very good tenant. I've not been a very good paladin in relation to my afterlife. What does that mean for me? And then, like, what does this mean to also the like, he's finally thinking of some of those bigger questions of, like, I mean, if people in the Roar are part of that afterlife too, I'm also not removed from the Roar as much as I thought I was. So, like, I'm still part of it somehow too. And what does that mean? Am I still just as bad as them, or am I better now? Is there a way? Who is in the good here? Who's in like he's sort of like thinking through those bigger questions right now.
Okay, cool. I'd like you to give me a. I'm going to say give me a dexterity saving throw. I want to give you disadvantage because of what you're thinking about right now. I will tell you it is low stakes.
Alright. Disadvantage?
Mm-hmm.
I rolled a 2 for a total of 8.
Okay, cool. I want to make sure the dice is involved in telling this story. So as you are thinking about this, you're with Barb, and you notice that there is this like solitary tree. It's essentially on where where the wagon would be going in the main path. I'd say it's about it's only about maybe about 50 feet ahead. And you're not, I don't think you're necessarily really paying attention specifically where you're going. I think you're being perceptive. You're here, you're looking out, but you're not necessarily looking directly where you, like, right in front of you. And looking at the tree, like, I think you like eye it in the side and you go like, okay, yeah, those branches are high enough, it's fine. And you miss that there is a hanging branch that as you pass by, I'm gonna roll to see if it really does any damage to you. Okay, it doesn't. Yeah, great. That makes sense. As you pass by, you just happen to notice that it kind of like it catches onto I would say like probably the like a stirrup that goes into like where your like robe is, where your cloak is, and seems to like, and then like digs in hard to your chest. You don't take any damage, but it's painful. As you feel that like kind of like searing pain, and you kind of like jerk away. Go ahead and tell me what Titian does here.
I think Titian he doesn't immediately grab for the branch. He immediately grabs for where it's hurting him, and he's trying to like, it's that thing of like, he's trying to hold on to that and like stabilize that. So then he like, knowing that it's attached to his cloak, he can try to get it out without ripping his cloak.
Okay,
so at this very moment, at this very moment, he's just holding that branch as it's painfully digging in. He's holding it right there, in that moment of it digging in.
You got it. You're holding it, but trying to get it out, right?
Yeah, he's going to start trying to get it out really delicately.
Cool. Yeah, I'm going to say with your like, well, go ahead and roll me sleight of hand check.
My sleight of hand is not great. But that's... okay, if we go into combat tonight, it's going to be bad. That's another nat 20 for a total of 22.
Nice.
Okay, cool. You are able to like grab the reins, pull Barb like close to have Barb stop as you are careful to take it out. No, but I'm sorry to make you roll that nat 20. I'll be honest.
It's okay. It's okay.
I've never felt worse about making a character roll. Specifically a nat 20. As you take it out, you're like there's like barely any blood. It's just like it's like in a space where like that like kind of like nerve ending where it's just like really hurt. And you notice like I think you like kind of like do a moment where you just like, not in like a weird way, but I think you like feel the like, you feel your like chest and recognize that there was a point in time where that wouldn't have been a problem. And I think Titian, I like to think in this moment that Titian, you think back to what made you lose that armor in the first place. And you look towards the woods from the distance that you're at. What is Titian thinking about? What flashes in Titian's mind?
I think it's the, like, at first it's a phoenix, like a fiery bird, and then it really, that sort of rests then on an image of Kavish, who was there when Titian lost his armor. And I think sort of gave him, let's call it the confidence to move forward without it, the push he needed. Yeah.
You envision a walk that you had fairly, man, just feels like a million years ago through the woods. You were lost. You were without your party, and you had this strange figure that was walking with you, had that weird sort of warmness to him that was kind of threw you off, but also weirdly inspiring.
He also thinks
And-
back to like. Sorry, go ahead, Joe.
No, go.
I was gonna say, just I mean, that sort of add to that, like Cavish has also been a figure because that's happened 2 times now in this campaign, where Cavish has been that voice of reason when Tishian feels a little bit more alone within the party, or a little bit like more isolated, and he now knows that like Cavish is not here, but he's like still imagining him, I think, to some extent for that comfort. And sort of like taking that on.
I'd like you to roll me either a history or insight check, your choice.
History or insight?
Mm-hmm.
Let's call that I'm better at insight, so we'll do insight. 21. It was an actual 16.
You recall the moment when you weren't told to let it go. But you were asked why it seemed to be worth taking down. And I think in your mind's eye before you see the vines that are wrapped around ironically, the cuirass of your armor. And you put your hands down. You made the decision. But you do remember Cavish telling you, I think that's the right step. I think you hear that in his voice. I think there's a moment that something that I think Tishian is probably too really scared to even question whether it was real or not. You see there is a moment of a flash of blue over the treetops. And you thought you saw feathered wings. Not only in this moment are you not sure if that was real, you're not entirely sure if that's what's important.
I think it offers a brief moment of hope for Tishian, but it's still that thing of like he still feels. So we're still walking down, like he still feels resolve in walking down this path, but he still knows that the situation he has himself in now feels so big and monumental that he has no idea like where the first like step would be along this path. The idea of someone's tampering with his source of power, his beliefs. How do you fight a belief?
Mm-hmm.
Who gives you that power to fight that? And then at the same time, like, how can Tishian protect that too to some extent?
You carefully had taken the branch that was hanging out of the tiny scratch in your chest. And you've been kind of like holding it back while you've been thinking and kind of staring out. And there's a moment as you're thinking about that you feel it slip between your fingertips and rest against your chest again. It just happens to rest in that same painful spot. I think there's a moment where Tishian, you recognize that, like, this hurts here. I don't like this here. And I try to be careful in removing it without hurting the branch.
I think Titian, after having that moment of realization, it still hurts here in this moment of trying to remove the branch delicately, as you said. I think the next step is he draws his hand axe and cuts the branch down.
Comes off in your hand, tossed to the side. And I think you continue on your way, eventually circling the tree to kind of come back towards the group. And I think with that, we're going to take our 10-minute break. See you guys in 10. Welcome back. Okay. So, Adeem and Alyssa, you guys have been hanging out for a little bit. You do notice that Ianthe and you do notice that Ianthe and Ewolf have walked off. Adeem, there's maybe a moment that like kind of occurs to you of like, hey, don't do that. But it's up to you whether or not you say anything.
Will activate my bracelet
Mhm.
to Ianthe and Titian, although I'm talking to
Okay.
Ianthe. And I believe Grian has it now too, no? So, and Grian. I don't think Prisha or Jet have a stone yet. So basically everyone in the group that has a stone, except for Ewolf, in case he does.
I don't think he does. Yeah, he does.
I forget, because things have been bouncing back and forth. We have to figure out who the hell has them. But I direct a message to Anthony, and I'm just like, hey, just don't forget what's in the woods. Try and not go there.
Okay.
And so everyone hears that, who has the stone, and just like, hey, I'm just maybe don't poke that particular beast. That you know. So, but anyway, beyond that, I'm just continuing to entertain Alyssa a little bit, but mostly guarding and watching out for things.
Okay.
Which I realize may bore Alyssa, but she's looking for playtime. She needs to find somebody else right now.
You mean Adeem isn't the world's most perfect playmate? That's crazy.
I know,
That's
right? You would
crazy.
think
I
of
would
all the
never
people that
imagine.
Adeem is like the most caring, loving, child-friendly character in this group, but
Absolutely. That's the vibe I
Yeah.
get, was my impression.
right?
Okay. Cool. Jet, can you roll me a D4, please?
Fancy. 2.
Okay. Cool. Great. So we've been kind of like dancing back and forth between players and scenarios of what's been going on. I think unless there's something specific, the people in the covered part of the wagon want to do, I can or say or RP. I think I should say. I can switch over to Ianthe, but it's up to you guys.
I think Green's just gonna sit back and read the book from the library, but that's
Right.
about it.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So you guys were being like dodgy, I assume, in front of to make sure that like Alyssa doesn't like hear any like sort of like pry guys. But what specifically are you looking for?
In the book,
Yeah.
the pages on the
I run
rod.
4 campaigns, dude. I don't know. You remind me.
It's the pages on the rods and the primordials and the creation of them and all that.
Cool. You got it. Yeah. So looking through there, I'd say give me an investigation check.
$10.
Cool. With a 10, I say 10 is enough to be able to get kind of the same basic story that I believe Jet got. And correct me if I'm wrong in that. But in the idea of like the general gist, I think for Green in this moment, there is a lot of like feelings here. And as you're trying to kind of like trying to kind of actively distract yourself from them. There is moments where you realize there is levels of concentration to some of these words that may be beyond what you're capable of right now. So there's more of like a general skim. So you get the general gist that there was the beginning of time. There were 4 beings that represented different elements: water, fire, air, and earth. These 4 beings did not get along well when they decided they wanted to create Imea. Imea is what it says in the book, but like there's got to be lands that are other than Imea. This is also, for the record, actually, this is a well, I guess you wouldn't know this. Yeah, it definitely seems like this is a book from Imea, like in generalities. It's not from some other sort of place that has not just been named yet.
Right.
You see that they used the beings that they had created to be able to kind of like help do their bidding in what became an all-out war. These beings that they created to be able to help them win this war eventually decided that their lives were better suited to be able to live in harmony, and found a way to be able to take all 4 of these beings and bottle them up into something that we would call the rods of creation or the rods of destruction, depending on who you are. You read that it is specifically members of the Feywild that were given the choice on where these rods would be hidden. And that no one from the material plane will be told. That's about it.
Yeah, I imagine he reads it because Eyes of the Runekeeper. But I imagine he reads it much like when you're when you're just like mentally stressed reading a textbook, and you're like reading it, but you're not really reading it. So I imagine that's how he reads all that.
Cool. Remind me about that next time, because I probably would have just given you advantage on that. But I'll say that's what you get for now.
Honestly, there was a lot going on between Prisha and Jet, and Green's just kind of like, oh my god.
It does make sense, right?
Yeah. The whole time he's like, Jesus Christ.
Cool. All right. Yeah. So for like Prisha and Jet, anything?
Would I know that Ewolf and Ianthe are going off away from us? I don't have a walkie-talkie. Would I have known that? I mean, I have a suited dragon flying around. I'm sure it would have let me know, right?
Yeah, I'd say we could simplify for that. Yeah.
I just want to have it follow them and make sure they're okay if they're walking away from the carriage.
Cool. You got it. Right.
And then I'm just apologizing to Prisha the whole time.
We are still stopped, correct?
We are still stopped.
Yes.
Okay. Prisha needs some air, so she's gonna just kind of wave off Jet, like, okay, fine, thank you. And she's gonna kind of bust outside. Like, dear God, it's very small.
Never mind. If Prisha goes outside, he will send the suited dragon to follow Prisha.
Oh, okay. Fabulous. Is he being stealthy about it? How big is this this suited dragon?
Like this long. Like tail to head is like this. It's like a little. It's black in color like him. No, it's literally been flying. You saw him make it, and then he just had it fly around as a scout. So it's kind of still scouting, but it's going. If you move away from the carriage, or wagon or whatever, it's going to go over you and watch out for you.
Okay. Yeah, Prisha's gonna go. You said that there was a source of water about 50 feet away, correct?
Yes. Towards the rocky part.
And is that kind of where everyone is like dispersing out of? Like I know Ewolf scouted ahead somewhere.
Yeah, no, I say Ianthe and Ewolf are going straight north. I think Titian is north. Adim is still at the cart, and then Green and Jet are in the cart. So you would be walking over in that area alone.
Okay. Prisha's gonna... Is Adim sitting up in, like, stagecoach right now? Like, he's up on top of the wagon? Or is he on the ground? What is Adim doing?
Yeah, Dean was on the ground near the. Right now, he's standing near the rock behind which Ianthe had changed.
Okay.
But he's on the ground.
Oh, you're standing near the rock?
Near the rock. Although now
Okay,
that
cool.
Ianthe has changed, there's no need for modesty. He's probably on the rock to get a better view.
Okay, cool.
Of
So
just
actually,
the surrounding area.
so then, yeah, I apologize. The demon would be actually be a little bit closer to where you're, in the direction of where you'd be going, but like only maybe like 10 feet away from the cart itself.
Great.
And,
Yeah.
and
I
Alyssa
think-
will also be there.
Okay.
He's probably teaching Alyssa how to climb safely.
Okay.
Look for this handhold.
Prisha- Prisha's going to sit, like, kind of near the base of the rock, as if she is, like, trying to ingratiate herself into this social interaction. But she's not actually going to say anything. There's just going to be, like, this awkward silence as she kind of sits awkwardly with her, like, little goat legs just kind of, like, splayed out. Like, she's just going to kind of just sit and, like,
So-
play with a bag on her belt.
Near where Adim is.
Yeah.
So you see Adim inhale, and it looks like he's about to say something. And then he has a flash of memory and holds what he's going to say. And he looks at you and says, "Hello." And then goes back to teaching.
Cool. I think you can roll me a D20.
Off to the side of
please.
Adim, by the way.
I don't believe that Adim and Prisha have had too much interaction yet.
You basically saw him run through a wall of fire.
Yeah.
Surrounded by
So
this.
yeah. So Prisha's just gonna... Oh, sorry. Prisha's gonna just kind of observe Adim teaching Alyssa, and she's gonna kind of try to, like... While she's sitting here, I think specifically what she's trying to piece together is the way that she sees these people interact with her and how she sees them interact with Alyssa. I think she's trying to gauge socially what is an acceptable way to interact with Alyssa, because she's also not had a formal conversation with Alyssa yet.
Right.
Oh, yes, she has. With Titian, where he was like, "No, you can't come into the riot." Okay, so
Right.
but yeah, so she's just.
But I
trying to
will say that was, I think a lot of the feelings on that was based off of her, like her rebounding off of Titian.
Yeah.
Because I think and this is just kind of like reiterating your point. Prisha, you're not entirely sure where you stand even with Alyssa.
At all.
And to that point, Ianthe, what'd you roll? No fucking way. Incredible.
Well, I don't know if that's a good or a bad thing. But I have some.
Well, I mean, it depends on your perspective on where the story is headed. So Alyssa is in the process. Okay, all right. So I put it here and looks back to see where Adim's looking at.
Well, actually, yeah, looks back, looks up, because I'm above her. So, are you getting me?
But no. I was looking back to see Prisha.
Oh. Yeah, and I've already said hello to her, and she said nothing to me. So it seems like, all right.
Yep, hold on. So hold on. I'm doing what Alyssa's doing here. So like looks back, sees Prisha's. Can I help you? I'm so sorry.
It's okay. I didn't want to be inside, and you looked like you were having more fun out here.
Oh, well,
But
yeah.
I can
Adib and I were, we're having fun.
Ouch, kid. Ouch.
I want to say this. I would have anyone in this group roll an insight check, except for the two that are here. They're the only two that would not get this at all.
Great.
Yeah.
Isn't that always how it goes?
Valid.
Mhm.
I rolled. Oh, would you like actually want us to roll insight?
No. The two people that are here in this scene. I'll say if you guys wanted to roll a perception check to like say that you look out of the cart to see the scene. If you think that you do that in character, I will allow you to roll a perception check. But I don't think. Yeah. I think we have to sit in this. I think that's what a nat 1 is.
I don't like this.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I don't think Prisha gets the hesitance, so she's full steam ahead. Yeah, I don't even know what to say in response to that. I'm so sorry.
She goes, okay, Adim, I think I'm ready to try the harder part on this other side of the rock now.
Adim stops standing on the rock and takes a knee at the rock. And quietly, so it's clear that he's talking to Alyssa, but not so quietly that Prisha can't hear.
Mhm.
He says, I would tend to agree with you, but I made a mistake a long time ago about someone that you liked a lot because they didn't speak to me the way I thought they should. So why don't we keep on working on this rock for a little while longer?
I'm gonna say roll me. Roll me a d20 adding your charisma modifier. So I don't think this is a persuasion check.
Yeah, no, not at all. So you said D20 charisma modifier. Got it. Okay. Which isn't going to be really high. Oh, okay. That'd be a 17. I rolled a random thing.
Congrats.
Cool.
So I rolled a 16, but I have a charisma. I have a +1 on my charisma. You wouldn't think given a dean, but she does. So.
I'm gonna say that this that's pretty dang good and enough for Alyssa to be a little bit more open, maybe like visually with her feelings. So I'm gonna say, Adim, go ahead and roll me an insight check.
Okay. An 18.
Okay, you okay?
Yeah, right?
We're good. I'm so sorry.
Okay.
Okay.
I rolled an 18 and she pratfalled. It wasn't that. It's just like.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Wow. 18 is really good. Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say. I think I'm gonna message you.
Okay.
I think that's. I think that just
What
makes sense there.
I only have so many screens, so I cannot currently see you, just so you know.
All good. But in the meantime, I have no idea if Kay's having to handle something or not. But
I am here.
Okay. All right. Cool. So Kay, you do see her kind of like look back at you and just go. You're kind of like a goat person, right? So you know how to like climb rocks.
Prisha smiles, actually, like really, really excitedly, as she asks that. I do. I know how to climb rocks.
Okay, if you want to help me, you can, but you gotta go slow.
Okay, I can do that. And she's going to.
And then in response to that, as she's, I can do that, and I will say that means also letting her make her mistakes so she can learn from them. Oh, the older brother Adim. the older brother pirate ship Adim.
In response to making her own mistakes, Prisha is going to she's going to nod very excitedly. I want her to salute, but I don't think she would have run into anybody ever who would have saluted like a captain's salute.
Nice. So I think there's a moment where you just spend time with Alyssa climbing on the rock. I had already rolled kind of an 11 for Alyssa, so Alyssa does seem to kind of start to get it. But I'd say it is a point where Prisha, you and Adim are able to help. I think there's certain points where I think in my view of Prisha is going to start to speak up on the handhold that she should be taking, and Adim, you're kind of just like a
Yeah. And things like, do you think that's the best one? And moving my foot over to where it might be better.
Right.
Absolutely.
But I'm also not allowing, the rock I'm on, I probably just brooded myself up with my hands. It's not that tall of a rock. I'm not putting her in any danger. If she falls, she'll land on her bottom and be like, whoops. It's not like I'm taking her rock climbing in Joshua Tree, so.
Right. Yeah.
If we're going to be outside, we'll do the homeschooling PE lessons. Let's climb rocks and trees. And the trees are more dangerous right now, so let's climb the rocks. So.
Yeah. So you just spend some time doing that. And I'll say, unless there's anything based on, and hopefully, Jack, you can see why I messaged you here on this.
Yeah, and I responded. Here's my response.
I sent one more thing in there. I just want to make sure you understood. Yep, I just want to make sure you understood the concept there.
I do, because it's
obviously in a very respectful way. You get the idea.
And and I'm going to keep it the way I need it to be.
Right, of course. Cool. So we will cut from there as we go to Ianthe and Ewolf. It's nice day.
Sorry, muting myself.
Yeah, I suppose it's fine.
It's probably not. No. No, are you okay?
I'm fine.
Okay.
What are we supposed to be looking for?
What do you mean? Oh, actually, I'm sorry. I guess I can get back to my roots a little bit here. There's a couple things you could be looking for. One, first thing we're looking out for is danger, and that could be from any sort of source, whether that is from a large creature. Things that I have learned in coming to North Imea is, and just doing a little bit of research on my side, is that North Imea is, this is weird to say, you're born from here, so I guess this is, maybe you know this, maybe you don't, but North Imea is teeming with wild animals, and there's not a lot that we know about them. So it's best that we just that we are kind of checking for tracks, scat, things like that, and just making sure that if it seems too big, maybe we turn that wagon around or move somewhere else, or just make sure that we're aware of it and kind of moving away from it. But also, if you wanted to, there's some really cool moss over here, and there's some there's some really cool look up here, and you see like he kind of like goes to he is now pretty much at the tree that Titian's at, but he is so enthralled in the conversation that I don't think he recognizes that Titian is close by. Titian, you might have wandered off from here, you might be here, it is completely up to you.
I think just for the sake of like what the camera is seeing, Titian is still here, but I think just by coincidence, Titian is now sitting, leaning against a tree on the other side.
On the other side, yeah, cool. Oh God, the pun is so good. It's right there. I want people to know that I knew this before. Titian and I did not plan this out. So actually, oh great, okay, cool. So there's these specific mushrooms on this tree here. So it's called lion's mane. It can give you some like crazy things, like good stuff. But if you ingest too much of it, it can become, only slightly hallucinogenic. But yeah, so that'll be good to kind of collect off, and just you see him take the axe and the golden axe and just starts like carving the lion's mane off the tree. So yeah, that's pretty much it. So yeah, I guess I should be I'll be looking. I'll look on the ground, I guess. And you see him bashfully looking. He is very red in the face. But he is looking all around the ground. He notices some, we'll say some clawed markings on the ground of some sort of bipedal creature. Oh, look. Yep. See right here. Ianthe, do you think you see Titian or Barb?
I'm going to do a perception check. Because I think I'm
Cool.
kind of zeroed in here.
Yeah.
And my perception's not great.
Could I roll against like a stealth or something like that? Because I feel like Titian would hear them, but like you'd actively, I don't know.
I would say yes, except for I think Barb is the bigger problem.
Okay.
Right, because Barb would be close by.
Yeah.
I did roll a 9. So
there's a good moment where these two knuckleheads are trying to figure out what animal could be making these tracks. Okay, so it looks like it came from the south.
Okay.
And then
Sort of walked in a circle, it looks like. Maybe it was pacing back and forth a bit. What sort of creature does that?
right, well, it's okay. Well, just and I think there's a moment where it kind of like it seems to like the tracks seem to kind of like dip around the tree, and look, so here you can go ahead of me here, and there is this moment where it's just weirdly close as the tracks have moved kind of like around the tree. I imagine that Barb has done a couple circles around this tree. So but like
there's
yeah.
like bird footprints. Do you think maybe it was chasing something, or maybe they were fighting?
I don't know. Let's do this. Ianthe, roll me a dex saving throw.
Dex saving throw. What do I have for that? Ooh. Oh my god. That would be another natural 1.
Good.
Bye.
Good. Well, it just depended. It
depended
depended on what type of session you guys wanted to have tonight, but I think the dice clearly are saying what they do. There's a point where you trip on a root and you fall right into Wolf.
Oh.
You okay?
Yeah. I didn't see the root there. Clearly, I'm not good at this scouting. Ow! Oh, I think I twisted my ankle.
Oh, you want me to? I've actually been working on this. If you want me to take a look. Or
Yeah, that'd be great.
okay. You see him bend down. Titian, you are definitely aware what's going on now at this point.
This is like a weirdly a Seinfeld episode where you know someone that's like they're gonna pass. Like they were gonna pass. Like Titian's like they're gonna just walk away from me and that's fine. I'll stay here. Now if I move, they're gonna know I've been staying here and they're gonna think I've been listening in.
Yes.
Now
Oh
if
my
I
man.
move, now if I move,
Misty
I look
Misty
wrong.
step. Misty step.
Yeah. I would. Okay. So I think.
Oh no.
Yeah, I think with the Nat 1, the Nat 1 is still stating the idea that there's not even a stealth check for Titian right now. Because I think it would be, if it was anything other than a Nat 1, I would say, like, Titian roll a stealth check, and the DC you have to beat is how low she rolled. But you can't roll lower than a Nat 1. So yeah, like, he kind of, like, goes to bend down. But I think you kind of feel like you have somewhat control of the situation right now. So are you, like... Are you letting him check your foot, or are you still here? Okay, cool. Goes, checks your foot. Oh, okay. Yeah, it might be a sprain, but it's probably fine.
Okay.
Or good. I'm good.
It feels better. Thank you.
Okay. I didn't do anything. I don't have any, like, healing sort of... That's not my...
Sorry, I thought that's what you were doing. Well, clearly
Oh. No, I've been... It's a long story, but I've been learning different types of, like... healing for non-magical people.
I didn't.
But it's whatever. It's not... yeah.
Oh.
I could wrap it if you want. I don't know if that would... And my bag is back there. I think he just forgot his bag. I think that's absolutely true. Like, just, it's back there.
I think it'd feel better if you wrapped it up. You know, we have to get back to the wagon.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I'll... Okay, stay right here. I'll be right back, because, again, I left it in there. Yeah, I'll be right back. And you've... you know what? Let me roll a... roll a d20 plus E-Wolf's Charisma, which is a cool -2.
Oh, E-Wolf.
He rolled a natural 19. So
Good for you, bub.
with a 17, there's a lot of other things that has, like, shown you, like, clearly you're aware of what's happening in the situation. But I would say in this one, you are a little impressed at, like, he's running, but he's somehow making it look like he's, like, not looking like an idiot running. Does that make sense?
A little bit of that Baywatch run going.
Yeah, he doesn't look like crazy desperate in the run, if that makes sense. But yeah, there is a moment where you and Titian are alone, but you're not aware where Titian is. I think you're just, like, leaning against a tree trunk on the opposite side.
Yeah.
Again, our commission, this is gold. Someone do this.
Someone help.
Someone help.
Did he leave his bag inside the dome?
Yeah, I bet he did.
He can't get back in the dome.
Cool. Incredible. Yeah, so here's how that scene is. Here's how that scene is going. Yeah, he just goes, "Hey,
What? I can't hear you. Ooh, charades. I love this game. Jet's gonna speak telepathically to him. What do you need?
What? Oh, I need my bag.
Oh, okay. He grabs it and tosses it out of the dome.
Catches it, almost falls backwards out of the wagon. Okay. And he's starting to walk back to you. Now, with Ianthe and Titian, because there is a moment of like, I'm going to ask this actually. Ianthe, what are you? You don't have to tell me what's going on through your mind right now. Go ahead and tell me what you're doing right now.
Debating if I think she's sitting and like she's a little bit of a distance away and she thinks she's by herself. So she's gonna start singing to herself a little bit.
Sha-la-la-la, I won't say I'm in love.
Yeah. No chance, no way.
Ianthe, go ahead and
Give up, give it.
I was doing
That
Kiss the
too.
Girl.
Oh, yeah, also.
everybody. Sha-la-la-la-la.
Sha-la-la.
Can I? So I think it's after as Ianthe starts singing to herself. Titian's going to come around the corner now
Okay.
because he
Cool.
realizes that Ianthe's alone.
I do want a performance
Like
check
it?
from Ianthe. I want that just now, just to know what Titian's having to apologize
Level
for
one
or
bard, let's
be real
go.
about.
I want to know if Grian can play the violin better than Ianthe can sing. Let's do it.
22 is a high roll.
God.
Just went up. It's just went up though. This is I think a +9 now.
Ooh.
Nice.
Okay.
Nice.
So
Is that another one?
no. It's a natural 19, so a 28.
Take that, Grian.
Okay.
Bard now,
Titian,
baby.
Titian, I don't know if you've ever actually really heard Ianthe sing.
No, I don't think Titian's ever heard Ianthe sing, and because of that, like he's always sort of been like. I think all of a sudden some pieces of Ianthe's character have come together for him. Like Ianthe's very proper. Ianthe's has a high level of confidence, and like yeah, she can cast magic, but so can everyone else. Like. That's not that big a deal. So like now that Ianthe's like singing, he's sort of getting to see that a little bit more now, and like pieces are coming together. And so I think there for a moment, like at first he was gonna come around the corner and be like, "Hey, Ianthe, I'm here. I'm getting the fuck out right now." Like he had a whole plan in his head, and that's now out the window. So I think I imagine Ianthe singing with her eyes closed for seconds.
Yeah.
Or I don't know. So I think what like you see is like Titian now like squatting right next to Ianthe.
Can Adim hear the singing?
I haven't actively activated my stone.
But is he close enough that he can just hear it from a distance? I'm hoping
It's
he
about-
can. Just
It's
for
about 50 feet away. Give me a perception check. We'll allow a roll for it. It's about 50 feet away. I think it's...
there's something small, because something came to
Yeah.
me that Adim would think. Ooh, 22.
You're good, dude. Yeah, you do hear that.
So I hear that, and a thought jars through his head when he hears Ianthe singing, and it's the sirens of the sea. Given that we're both Wajanasi and our father was a Merid, he's like, and just he just holds on to that, pockets away for another time, and then goes back to his business.
Yeah, you hear Adim, is this right? Yeah. Okay. You were muted, now you're not, Jack. Or no, now you are muted. I don't
No,
know.
I'm going back and forth because my
Okay.
dog is being
You're good.
very large.
Cool. Actually, I guess I'll roll. Nope. Ewolf is on his way back, but yeah, Titian, you and Ianthe have the floor here.
All right. And Titian's going to try to do this in a way that like he doesn't want Ewolf to know he's around. So as Ianthe's singing, Titian's going to put his hand on her shoulder and like stop her. Yeah. It's over. It's Hey, it's all right. It's all right. It's just me.
God, you
This
stink.
is.
How long
It's
have you
just a
been here?
Titian. It's all right. Longer than you would like.
What are you doing? I thought.
Hold on.
Hi.
I think it's important that you stop looking at the ground and start looking up. And when E-Wolf gets back here, maybe go ahead and make that move. Like Titian's gonna like peel off from there and like just like walk away.
Titian, I need a D20 plus your charisma check on how cool it is when you walk away.
Like, are we talking explosions in the background? Do we have a
With
cool
charisma
musical
with charisma
singer?
modifier.
Does he have sunglasses that he takes off when he
Yeah.
says that? And yeah,
It's just like
or he
so
puts
it's
them
like
on.
it's 8 plus 4, so it's a 12. So I think Titian like he's really proud of himself, so he stands up and like he does a little bit of a stumble, and then like he turns back around and he goes,
There's a tree branch
and
there.
like then he
Trip over it too.
then he keeps walking the long way around with, and like I think you sort of see him get like you see him disappear, and he goes like 15 feet, and then like before Ewolf shows up, Ianthe just hears a little bit out of the distance. Titian
From
and
Titian?
Barb. Yeah, Titian and Barb. Yeah, just are like walking back.
Wait, is the sound coming from Titian or is the sound coming from
Yeah,
Bart?
and the sound's coming from Titian. Yeah, so he's trying to like collect Barb. He's serious, but he's still like that's just these.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I love that. Ewolf comes back. Okay. Yeah, Ewolf comes back. Doesn't know a fucking thing. Okay, so I have the bandages. Here, let's see that foot. And you see him like start to kind of like try to wrap it up. So, what are your plans after all of this? I know it's weird to like think about that right now, but just like, let's say we save Alyssa and she's safe, and Mir is good, and Ha Samal is governed by something that's not the roar. I assume that's the goal we're all going with, but I'm not entirely sure. I'm only sure about the Alyssa thing. But like, yeah, where do you think you're going from there?
Assuming I make it through it. I always wanted to be a performer on the stage. I nearly joined a theatre troupe a couple of years ago, but that sort of fell through. I think I'd like to open a theatre somewhere. Manage my own troupe. Have shows. Nurture performers. And just enjoy life. Meet all sorts of interesting people. And be on stage whenever I want. And maybe settle with someone.
Yeah. Do you have an idea of do you have a place in mind where you would have that?
Well, I previously thought Ha Samal or Ariskar, but now I'm not so sure. I think Dair's Wharf's off the table. Maybe I'll have to go south.
Yeah, you could.
What about you? What would you do? Assuming we get through all of this. How would you spend your days?
Roll me an insight check.
Is a 20 total.
That's good. There's a moment where you see him like, you know, kind of like try to kind of like wave it off, like kind of like doing like the like sort of expression of like, and then you see a moment of true realization of recognizing that he had at least never had to answer that question before, and you think he truly hasn't thought about it, at least not in a long time. Well, yeah, I don't know.
Well, for what it's worth, dancers, musicians, performers, they're always getting hurt. Having an in-house healer could be beneficial if you'd like to come along.
That would be nice. You see that he has finished wrapping your foot probably about 30 seconds ago, but is still holding onto your foot.
I'm gonna reach out and like reach out my hand to have him like help me stand up, and I'm not gonna let go of his hand.
His eyes meet yours.
And I'm just gonna lean in and kiss him. I'm not gonna say anything.
And he kisses back. Titian. Are you?
Titian is 5 feet away behind another tree. Yeah. Just going.
5 feet away.
Yeah.
Doing like literally doing the cat like.
Yeah. Yeah. Fireball.
Great. Titian, can you remind me and the group? No. Can you remind the group of what you rolled perception-wise at the beginning of the session?
Absolutely. I rolled a natural 20 for a total of 29.
Great. In this moment, you do see this, I think. If you're watching, you see this. And it's, you know, it's whatever feelings Titian has immediately gets interrupted as you see something large and bounding extremely fast towards the cart. This figure is rippling with muscles. It is standing about maybe 10 feet tall. It is moving faster than you've ever seen a creature this size move. And its yellow eyes are piercing right towards the carriage as it is bounding up. And you're the only one who sees it. And with that, we're going to end tonight's session. We'll see you guys next week.
Oh my gosh.